Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. We are officially in September and fall in Boston and New England in general is my absolute favorite season. You like the fall, Lumpy? I happen to be in Boston today, so I thought that I would do a little fall favorites video for you. I have most of the stuff that I want to talk about today. Some of it is clickable and linkable, and if so, I will leave a link for it, and other stuff is just things that make me happy this season. I'm also going to talk about a couple things that were kind of a bust for me, things that I thought were going to be my favorite, but not so much. And if you're anything like me, you love the fall too, so if you have any fall favorites, feel free to leave them in the comments for us. I'll have some clothing recommendations, food favorites, things I'm watching on TV that are my favorites this season, some beauty products, some bookish things, and a couple of bags. Let's get started. Today was really a treat because Angie had today off and we ended up taking a walk down Newbury Street and going to Trident Books, which is one of my favorite things to do in the fall, which is walk aimlessly through a small bookshop. I'm reading a classic right now. It's a lot darker than I thought it would be, and that is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm a huge fan of Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, of course, and I was really excited to read this Gothic classic. One of the things that gets me excited about reading a good book is getting a good version of a book. So I have two versions of this. This little version I actually picked up at TJ Maxx. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a Chiltern version of this book. I love the hardcover of it. I think I paid like $12.99 for this at TJ Maxx, but the retail is $25. You can probably get it on Amazon for about $20. It's gorgeous. And I like this version of the book because it's very portable. Keep it in my tote bag that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. This is my favorite version of Wuthering Heights, and this is an illustrated version, and it has some beautiful illustrated pullouts throughout the book, letters that pertain to the story. There's like a map of where Emily and Charlotte Bronte lived as children. There's like a family tree. My favorite way to read the classics, because sometimes they can be a little bit of a slow read for me, is to do the Audible version and the written version. So when I'm getting ready in the morning, I will often listen to the Audible, which is another one of my favorites. I find I am literally doubling the amount of books I'm able to read just because I am using books and Audible together. Also, sometimes if I can't sleep at night, I don't even use like a headset or AirPods. I just put my phone right next to my ear and I turn on Audible. And you can also set a timer on Audible because usually I'll fall asleep. So I'll set it for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on how tired I am. I also own Jane Eyre in this version, and I think I'm going to get Pride and Prejudice. I'm not a book collector, but I do like certain versions of the classics. And these are just so gorgeous on a bookshelf. I also have the penguin cloth bound version of Pride and Prejudice, and I thought I was going to collect all of those, but I like these better. Definitely a fun thing to do in the fall. Wander around bookstores aimlessly and read like moody, gothic, spooky books. I have a book club on my second channel, Lori and Tata, and I'm gearing up to discuss our book for next month. So if you have any suggestions for a good spooky fall book or just like a cozy fall vibe book, I would love to hear it. I have my LL Bean boat and tote bag here as one of my favorites. This is a definite favorite of mine. I feel like if you live in Massachusetts or New England, it is like a requirement to own an LL Bean boat and tote bag. We have had them for years. However, I've always had ones with the shorter handle. I had them for all of my kids when they were little, personalized with their name. I had a big one for myself, but I didn't have any with the long strap. And I feel like the long strap is a game changer. Honestly, I feel like these bags are like the biggest bargains around. They're such a classic, and I do feel like boat and tote bags are more associated with summer. The navy blue and the red, you see them all over the Cape and Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. They are like the quintessential summer bag here. However, I got mine, and of course I had black. And I also bought another one that is all natural, and I had like a taupey beigey color embroidery, which that one I don't love quite as much as this one because I feel like the embroidery was tiny. I love the size of that one. It's a small. It's perfect for my notebooks. This is really phenomenal for going back and forth to Boston. I can fit my laptop in here. I just put my initials in block lettering on this one, and in the smaller version, I did cursive font and put my last name. But I think I got both bags with embroidery for under $100, which I thought was pretty good. Sometimes LL Bean will have a 10% off coupon. You just got to kind of stay in tune for them. I was not in the market for the larger tote, which is great for the beach or like a weekend away. They also have versions that you can have the top zip. I just really like this classic open tote, and this is big enough that I feel like I could walk with it throughout the streets of Boston, but it's small enough that it won't get super weighed down, and the shoulder strap is just, like I said, such a game changer. So even if you are an LL Bean bag person and you've had the classic boat and totes through the years with the short handle, you got to try the long handle. I can picture it at a football game with like a rolled up plaid blanket tucked in and maybe like a thermos full of hot chocolate, and it can instantly turn into a fall favorite. The other thing I like about this one over the all natural color one that I have is pretty obvious. The base of this is black. I just think it's gonna stand up to stains a lot better than the natural one. But I'm thinking about getting like a scarf or something to tie around that to just make it more of like a fashion style bag to carry around with me, because it's really neutral and will go with everything. So in this bag, I don't know if this is still around, but Angelina and I went into Brandy Melville today. It's so funny because here in Boston, there is a line out the door at that store all the time, especially now that all the students are back. Labor Day weekend, it was around the corner. And they just have some really great basics. And it's crazy because in my reselling business, Brandy Melville doesn't really sell for much, and I don't always pick it up. I often pass it over actually. However, there are so many people that are crazy about this brand. When I first moved here, I went on their website and I happened to catch this sweatshirt, just a classic gray sweatshirt. And I loved that the Boston was written in like that dark green. I love this hoodie. I was in the store today. I did not see this particular hoodie. My apologies if you're on the hunt for this. They had a lot of Nantucket stuff. They'll often do a lot with New York, but I think they kind of cater to the area they're in. So obviously there was a lot of Cape Cod, Nantucket, and Boston stuff in the store here. It's a go-to sweatshirt for me when I'm walking lumpy, when I just want to be cozy watching a movie at home. There's nothing like a cozy lived-in sweatshirt that you can wear over and over, and it's not crazy oversized. If you just watched my last video, I'm going through my closet like category by category, downsizing and trying to get to a capsule wardrobe, and I had so many sweatshirts. I haven't even gone through all of them, but some of them were just so oversized. I actually love the way that this fits. It's cozy, shows a little Boston pride, and it's a fall favorite for sure. Another thing, people often ask me what lipstick I'm wearing, and this is not what I wear all the time, but this is one of my favorites, and the reason I know it's one of my favorites is because I went to use it today and I had to like dig into it because it's pretty much gone. This is Fenty Beauty, which is Rihanna's brand. I have this, and I also have like a lip gloss from them. This color is called Is It Fussy? Here's a lovely image of my lipstick. I don't know if I can get it on. Let me see. Yeah, it's really pretty. What I love about this lipstick is it gives me enough color in the fall. I've definitely gone more neutral on my lipstick since I've gotten a little bit older. Sometimes I feel like if I wear really dark lips, it makes me look old. I don't know. I don't know if that's just a hang up I have, but I feel like this gives me enough color without being overbearing. And it's also really creamy, almost has like a glossy feel to it. So it can be a little sticky. If you don't like that, this may not be for you. But I think that it's a really nice neutral color, and I think it looks good on a lot of people, which is why I wanted to share it. And also because I'm almost out and I need to get a new one. The lip gloss is really, really sticky. I notice whenever I put that on for a video, I feel like it's on my teeth. It just like sits there. I don't get that same feeling with this lip gloss, but it's definitely creamy. Yeah, I've gone through it. I really enjoy it. So thanks to Rihanna. Oh, I also want to mention this. I have two things in today's lineup besides my sponsored stuff that was gifted to me. And I've been gifted a few things over the years, and I don't always give a mention because sometimes things are gifted and I don't love them. But these two things that I'm going to talk about today, I happen to really enjoy. One is this Ultra Human ring. I ended up taking this as a gift because my Fitbit, which I loved for years, I went from an Apple Watch, which I really didn't like an Apple Watch. It was just too much. It was more than I needed. I really just want something to track my steps and track my sleep for the most part. So the Fitbit was great. And I even went from a bigger Fitbit down to like a little thin one. But two things happened. I have carpal tunnel and I don't like to keep anything on my wrist. My wrists get really sore occasionally, and even a very lightweight watch was bothering my wrist. That was number one. Number two, and this was actually even worse than the pain I would get sometime from having it on my wrist, is every single Fitbit I've ever owned has given me irritation under the back of it. No matter what I do, no matter how often I clean it, no matter how many breaks I would take from it, I would always get the red irritation, bumps, itchy, and I would have to stop wearing it. But I really miss tracking my sleep. I have trouble sleeping sometimes. When Ultrahuman reached out and offered to send me one of these, I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. And my husband had talked about the Aura Ring, but the Aura Ring requires a subscription, and I didn't want another subscription. This gives me all the information I need and then some. This is a very detailed little guy, and it's super lightweight. Like if you were to just hold this, it just feels like a lightweight plastic thing, but it's so durable. I thought it was going to scratch a ton, and it hasn't. Most importantly, I personally have never had any irritation from it. I do get a little fidgety with it. I ordered it big. So the one downside to this is I got the titanium, and it's a lot more gray than I thought it was going to be. I should have gotten like the chromy looking one, or maybe just the bright gold. I think both of those are much more feminine. I was concerned that they were going to look cheap in person. I had this hang up about it. So I got the titanium thinking it would be like a matte silver, and really it looks gray and super masculine. So that is my only con. It's not pretty. I think the gold and the silver would have been pretty. That is the biggest downside because, you know, I like my rings and I like things to look feminine and nice. I'm probably going to end up giving this to Jay and getting myself a gold one or a silver one, but I've never had any irritation. It is so lightweight. I will also move it from my index finger on my right hand to my index finger on my left hand to my thumb sometimes. I sleep with it. I wash my hands with it. I take it on and off. It has like a little charger. I probably charge this once a week, if that. I don't know what magic lies inside of this little guy, but it's so much more detailed than my Fitbit ever was. It lets me know good time to go out in the sun. It tells me when to wait to drink caffeine. It detected a fever that I had. I was getting sick, and it said, your temperature seems high. You should maybe rest today because I think you're getting a fever. And my little Ultrahuman was correct. I did get like a low-grade fever, and I wasn't feeling really well. It's been fascinating to me, so I can't say enough about it. They do have like little plugins that you can pay for, and then it adds to the cost, of course, which I just wouldn't do. Like, I like free things. So I love the fact that I can get all that information without having a subscription. So A+ on the Ultrahuman. Next time around, I will just go for a more feminine look. No irritation, tons of information, no subscription. Love it. Okay, now I want to take a second to thank today's sponsor, Ultima Replenisher. Ultima Replenisher Electrolyte Drink Mix works to replenish electrolytes deliciously without the added sugar, calories, or artificial sweeteners. When you're hydrated, you tend to have more energy and feel refreshed. So let's give it a try. So we have lemonade, cherry pomegranate, here's the grape. They also have a tea version that they sent me. One of the things that I struggle with my weight loss journey is making sure that I drink enough water and stay hydrated. It is so important to maintain success with my weight loss, to stay hydrated. And because the flavors are so delicious, I'm always reaching for them before I head out for my walks with Lumpy. It keeps me hydrated and it encourages me to move. And my daughter actually told me about this before they reached out for a partnership. So this was one of those things that I had heard about it before I tried it. And it's awesome.
It's really good, right?
It's so good. I definitely need to try this cherry pomegranate fall harvest bowl. It looks delicious. And the spiced orange electrolyte cider, come on. The variety of flavors they have is unmatched. This is this morning's drink. I actually just did an Amazon order aside from what was sent to me from Ultima because we go through so many of these packs. This one has lemonade, grape. One of my favorites is the cherry pomegranate. They're also gluten-free, vegan, and keto-friendly. I love to fill my water bottle to the top with ice, put in my packet, add the water, and shake it up for an incredibly refreshing drink. Ultima Replenisher has all 6 key electrolytes without the junk: calcium, chloride, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and sodium. If you want to give Ultima Replenisher a try, head to the link in my description and stay hydrated with Ultima Replenisher. I won't go without my Ultima refreshers again, whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. Thanks again to Ultima for sponsoring today's video. Next up, I just want to talk about a little crafty thing. This is content that I would typically share on my other channel, but this is stuff that I've really been into lately. I love fountain pens. I love journaling. I love planning. I love analog things that kind of help me slow down and just enjoy the little things. And I've been really getting into watercolors lately. What I'm finding is I'm not as free-flowing as I would like to be. So this book, Watercolor with Me in the Forest by Dana Fox, she makes all sorts of books. I love this forest one. It's very fall vibes. I love it. What she'll do is she'll give you a small picture and she'll also let you know the palette, the watercolors that you need to use in order to achieve that look. And then there's a really light sketch on the other side of the page. And then you just paint it. I don't always have the exact colors that she's suggesting I use, and it's just not a big deal. I've just really enjoyed it. This past week, Angelina and I went to Lyric Park, which is down the street from us in the Back Bay. I did this little ladybug. We're going to Italy next week. I'm going to a shop called A Gallo in Assisi. They make handmade watercolors, and I'm geared up to make a big purchase there. So I've been trying to paint a little bit more. I did like some of the warm-up lessons. I did an acorn. That's really cute as well. So there's hers over here, and these are my acorns on this side. This was fun because you did like a little pattern on the top of the acorn. But I think this is a great resource for people who want to dip their toe into watercolors, but you may not be ready to just use that blank paper. I know that can be like paralyzing for some of us. I'm not that free flowing yet with my painting, so I think this is a great start, and I love the little fall pictures that they have in here. This is a very affordable way to get into watercolors, and the paper is nice and thick, so you can paint right here in the book. It's watercolor paper. I highly recommend these books from Dana Fox for my little crafty people out there. Okay, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about some fall fashion. I'll be having a fall trends video coming out soon, but for my own personal style, I have been loving my fall sweaters from Quince. I recently did a video comparing my Quince cashmere button-down, like oversized boyfriend cardigan to my Jenny Kane. And while both of them are beautiful, I paid close to retail for my Jenny Kane. I bought it in a store. I got it for 20% off, but it was so expensive. I actually like my Quince one better. It's a beautiful oatmeal color. It is a perfect fall sweater. But one of my new favorites from Quince has to be the sweater that I'm wearing now. This is very new to me. This is the Batwing Mongolian cashmere sweater in black, and I am so in love with this sweater. As I've been going through my wardrobe and trying to get rid of things that are super oversized that no longer really look good on me, I've realized that even though I've lost weight, I still like an oversized fit. And this Batwing sweater, I feel like, is an oversized fit without like taking over. And I think it's because of the slim arms and the exaggerated dolman sleeve. It's not too long. It's like the perfect sweater. Another favorite of mine, if you live in a warmer climate, and I think this is the best bargain out there, is this sweater. I think this is like a cotton blend with cashmere. And this I also purchased in a medium, and I would say that it runs a little oversized. So I have the cashmere cardigan in oatmeal. I have this in black, which of course is my favorite. And then I have this one in like a cream color. The other thing about this is the sleeves are not too long. I find that on days like today where it's still like 70 degrees, it can get warm when you're walking outside for a length of time and you just work up a sweat. But I love that you can kind of like push these sleeves up, and it's just such a great look. I can't say enough about this sweater. It's still new to me. I think this retails for $79. This one is $39 and change. And then the oversized classic boyfriend sweater that is a dupe for the Jenny Kane is $139. All of them I would highly recommend. Oh, I also ordered the boat neck sweater in like moss or brown. I'm not sure which one. The boat neck cashmere sweater looks like it's a little bit more lightweight, but I love the neckline on it. I love a slouchy sweater. So it's very rare for me to wear crew necks. I like V-necks, I like a boat neck, or I like something that goes a little off the shoulders. Let me know in the comments if you've tried that sweater, but I think their Mongolian cashmere at Quince is phenomenal. I was able to purchase this and the jeans that I'm going to show you with credit that I got from people using my Quince affiliate link from the comparison video that I did. I just like to let you guys know if something's given to me or if I purchase it with my own money, but I paid for the Mongolian cashmere sweater, the 139, with my own money. That's what really prompted my love for the brand Quince, because I've been investing in different pieces and I just feel like it's like the Goldilocks of quality and value and fashion. You get these like classic styles that are good quality for a good price, and you're not paying for an expensive label like Jenny Kane, but you're still getting great quality. I know not all of their stuff is created equally, and some of their stuff is better than others, but I've had a really good experience with their sweaters and their cashmere. But I also got some jeans. I've had some requests for a denim comparison video where I do a try on of high-end brand versus value brand. I have jeans all over the map. I have Old Navy jeans, J. Crew jeans, Madewell. I just added Quince to the lineup. And then I have Mother jeans that I really love. I will say that the Mother jeans are among my favorite jeans, and so I'm kind of always trying to chase those jeans. I have a pair of Lucky brand jeans, and Mother jeans are both cropped. So I wanted to get similar styles in a longer length for fall. So that's why I ordered these Quince. And when I looked online, there were certain styles that people said were dupes for Mother jeans. So I gave them a try. These are the Bella Stretch Relaxed Straight jeans. I feel like these have a little bit more of a wider bottom. I wouldn't really even consider these straight. I think they're a tiny bit of a wider cut. And these jeans feel like they're more cotton and less elastane than, I think it's the Luna bootcut ones that I'm wearing now. I think the Lunar ones are the dupe for the Mother jeans. I would say that the gray ones that I'm wearing are a lighter fabric. They definitely have more stretch to them. This probably feels like a better quality denim. You definitely get more cotton in these jeans than you get in the Luna jeans. I got them both with a 30-inch inseam, I believe, but these definitely run a little bit longer, or they feel longer. Maybe it's because of the wider leg at the bottom, or because they're not like a boot cut, so they're not as slim in my leg, but I love them both. I don't know how the gray Luna ones will hold up over time. I don't always love that extra elastane, but it remains to be seen if they have like a snapback or if they bounce back after I wash them. I also ended up listing a pair of my Mother jeans that were like this shade of black, like a charcoal gray or like a light black. Just, they don't hold me in. I like jeans to kind of hold me in. They just don't anymore. So I have those listed on Poshmark and on eBay. So I wanted to replace them. So I got these black ones. I will do a more comprehensive try on for you when I go through jeans in my closet, when I do another closet clear out video. I'm working towards a capsule wardrobe, kind of going through my closet week by week and tackling a different category each week. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see how that transformation goes. In the past year, I've lost over 40 pounds and I'm making over my closet and really just keeping things that bring me joy and really make me feel good when I'm wearing them. I'm really focusing on quality pieces. I think that Quince is really hitting the mark for me. I'll definitely leave links for Quince below for the specific pieces that I'm mentioning, but they have a great variety of items on their website. Let me know what your favorite Quince item is. This is the Quince cashmere sweater. It is just so beautiful. I wear it so much. Sometimes I'll go home and I'll realize that I have both sweaters at home, so then I'll purposely take one back here, but I want to make sure that I have one of my button-down cashmere sweaters at both places. Another fun fall favorite for me is nothing that has a link, but I just finished watching Wednesday Addams with Jay and Angelina, and I loved it. I feel like the season started out, I don't know, I was a little critical in the first episode, but I feel like they were setting the stage for a lot to happen. We watched the finale yesterday, and I think it's like such a great family fall vibes show to watch. Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams, and of course, Catherine Zeta-Jones plays Morticia, and she is just phenomenal. The cast is incredible. Steve Buscemi plays the principal this season. I feel like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It kind of has all the fun cliches. I think this season in particular, I think last season too, very heavily inspired by Harry Potter. I see a little bit of the Hunger Games in there. I even see a little bit of Wicked when you see the contrast between Wednesday's character and her friend Enid. There's always like a great dance scene. The music is so great, and Tim Burton is just brilliant. And so yeah, it's a really fun fall show to watch. It can be a little spooky at times. I wouldn't say that it's like a kid's show, but certainly like a young teen and above would enjoy this. And actually, Stranger Things is coming out soon too, and we are very excited for that. It's the final season of Stranger Things, and it's going to take place in 1987 when I was a freshman in high school. So I'm so excited for the final season of Stranger Things. But Wednesday Addams has definitely been a fall favorite. Oh, and another one. Angie and I just started watching Gilmore Girls. I had never seen a single episode of Gilmore Girls until I watched it with Angie the other day. And that feels very fall and cozy. It's always funny to me when I look back on shows that I missed. And I think that Gilmore Girls is from 2000, 2001, which is like right when I was having babies. Anthony was born in 99. Angelina was born in 2001 and Rocco was born in 2004. I was watching like Blue's Clues and Elmo during those years. So all of these shows just completely passed me by and they were never on my radar. And here we are 24 years later. My mom is binge watching Gilmore Girls right now. So we just started watching it and I'm really excited to get into that. That's going to be much more of a commitment than Wednesday Addams, but it's so much fun. I just realized while I was editing that I didn't talk about the couple of items that really didn't hit the mark for me this fall. One of them is good. It just, I don't think is worth the hype that was kind of around it for a while. The first item though was a huge bust. It could have just been my experience, but I purchased the Shark curling wand or the tool that's like 3-in-1 that retails for over $300. And during Amazon Prime, it was like 30 or 40% off. Anthony had bought it for his girlfriend Amanda and she loved it. So I decided to get it. It has like all these different attachments and I wasn't sure how long it was going to take for me to get used to it. It dries your hair, it curls your hair. It's this multi-purpose styling tool and Dyson makes one and Shark is like the more affordable version. Mine came in the mail and no joke, I was going to film a get ready with me and I went to plug it in Boston and it just sparked and it like popped and smoke came out of the outlet and it just died. So that was a return right away. And I was already feeling a little remorseful for spending so much money on essentially a curling iron. I just use an old school curling iron and I have for years. So that was returned immediately, but it was probably a fluke, something on my part, but that did not pan out very well. The other thing I was a little disappointed with was my Polane seam bag or sign bag. I was so desperate to get this bag. It kept going out of stock on their website. I even traveled to New York City with the intention of purchasing this bag. It was all over Instagram. I think it's beautiful, but it just did not become the tote bag I had hoped it would be. And maybe it's because of these handles. It's a great bag, don't get me wrong. And the handles work, but it's just a little like bulky width-wise. And also these magnets on the side, one of the ways you can wear this bag is open like this. It kind of goes in on itself a lot. It kind of takes this shape automatically, kind of goes on autopilot. I think that if I could wear it like this more often, it wouldn't feel so bulky width-wise, but these magnets don't stick. So see how this keeps, it takes very little for this to come undone. Very little. And this is with the bag pretty much empty. And these handles are really convenient when you're just grabbing and going someplace. However, they kind of get in the way when you want to put this on your shoulder because you have to kind of push these down and then get these straps on your shoulder. So I love the look of it. I love the minimal design. I really loved this cognac, especially for the fall. Like I was dying for this for the fall. I almost got it in black because the black was available, but I knew I wanted this one. So I do think it's gorgeous. I just thought this was going to end up being like an everyday bag for me, and it simply has not. So this disappointed a little bit because it's definitely an investment piece. But what I really ended up loving so much, and I have a full video on this on my other channel, is this Coach bag. This is the Brooklyn bag in the larger size. And oh my gosh, I love this so much. This is like squishy and the leather is beautiful. Far less structured than the Polane bag that I just showed you. But this is just more my vibe. It's really big. They make it in multiple sizes. They just came out with a brown suede one, which I know is going to be really hot this fall because suede is really in for this season. I think this is called like dark stone. It's like a taupey color. It also has this little ring on the side, and I got a bag chain for it, the Coach bag chain. Chain just gives it that little extra if you want to be a little bit dressier with it. But I can't say enough about the Brooklyn bag. It's also pretty lightweight and it just doesn't get in the way. You know, when I look at these two side by side, there's probably just as much space in both bags. This one is kind of a north-south bag. This is more like an east-west. best. But I just like the thicker straps on bags, and the strap kind of stays in place. It's not floppy and it doesn't come down. The most structure in this bag is kind of right here on the sides. So I have just been loving Coach lately. I love the Brooklyn bag. So the Pauline was a little bit of a disappointment, mostly because I waited for so long for it to be back in stock, so that when I got it, I was a little disappointed that it didn't work out as I had hoped. Also, I did get my boat neck sweater in from Quince. When I filmed the video originally, this had not come in, so I did end up getting the brown one. If I take this off, you can get a better idea of how it looks. But it's really cozy. So yeah, the Quince things continue to make me very happy. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as far as fall goes is every year in the fall, my husband and I go out to Yankee Candle in South Deerfield, Massachusetts. And we went last week. And I think it was after I had filmed the original part of this video. And I thought to myself, I have to include this in my fall favorites. It's a tradition that we do every year. This is the earliest we've ever been. And we also went on a weekday. So it was really quiet. It gets packed at Yankee Candle on the weekends, and it's a whole experience. They have a whole room for Department 56, and they have all of the different villages on display. They have Christmas ornaments that you can personalize. There's a restaurant on site. They have an area where you can make your own candles. There's a ton of toys to purchase for kids. I felt like we were there slightly early because it wasn't all like decked out yet, but they have a specific Halloween room that is really cool. We walked through that. So this is one of my favorites that I got this year. I don't want to drop it because it is lit currently, but this is apple pumpkin. I couldn't decide between the two. I usually get Macintosh and then I'll get pumpkin pie, but anything that's pumpkin or apple I love, so I just decided to combine this one, and it's really great. They have like this fantastical line this year that's really cool. Let me show you what we got. Hold on. This is Moonlit Woods. And this is kind of like this little mystical line that they have that looked new this year. I just was wanting one from there. This one's, it almost smells a little like cologne. I went with some different ones this year, and I always call the kids and see which ones they want. I got Mountain Lodge for Rocco, my little Maine guy. Anthony requested Clean Cotton. It's so funny that my boys are into candles. I think it's so funny, especially Rocco. He is not like the kid I would think would want candles. And then at the register, they always have $12 full-size candles. This is a lemon gelato one that I got for just $12. They also had a tiki line, well, like a tiki drink one, so it's in the other room, but of course we had to get the tiki candle for Tiki J. They always offer great coupons, and it's just a fun little tradition that we have. Let me know if you have tried the Brooklyn bag or the Syme bag from Pauline, and which one is your favorite. Okay, so also in this bag, this is like a random thing, but these are all the things that I love, so I wanted to share them with you. This is mint tea, very simple, kind of ripped it open from the side here. I got this on Amazon. It was like a 50 pack of mint tea for I think $10. I keep these here, but then at home I have my Twining peppermint tea. I've just decided that nothing is better than mint tea to me. It's decaffeinated, which I'm a huge coffee drinker, but at night I like to drink tea. Tea is something that I really got into when I started to lose weight. It's a treat for me at night. It settles my stomach. It's one of those teas that if I leave it by my bedside table at night, I wake up in the morning and it still tastes good. You can throw ice in it and it's still good. I just love it. This tea is pretty generic, these little tea bags here. This is probably more environmental, but with the Twinings peppermint tea, I will just grab handfuls and put them in my purse. So when I'm on the go, I always have a mint tea bag with me. It's a little bit of a security blanket. I think there's 100 pack of the Twining, the pure peppermint tea, $12 for 100 pack. It's not a lot of money. When you think in terms of how much our pumpkin spice lattes cost when we're out, mint tea is a bargain. Superfood Gruns. I ended up picking these up after I made the mistake. You know, when you click on something on Instagram and then you are bombarded with it for advertisements, they got me. It just kept coming up on Instagram, but I read all sorts of reviews. They run a little expensive, but I really do like them. Grun's Superfood Green Gummies supports gut health, energy, immunity, recovery, beauty, and cognition. I take this instead of a multivitamin, and it's also like a little snack. So they come in these little packets. They're like little gummies, but they're not traditional gummies that are like full of sugar. Vegan, gluten-free, nut-free, dairy-free, no artificial colors, flavors, and they're non-GMO. They're a superfood. They help with digestion. If you have tummy trouble or trouble going to the bathroom sometimes, this will help. I really got this for a little bit of energy and help with the digestion. The medicine that I'm on for weight loss sometimes can cause constipation. Sometimes it does the opposite. This just kind of helps keep things in order, if you know what I mean. I really like them. They're tasty. They're not delicious. Like, I did watch a lot of influencers be like, oh my gosh, they taste so fantastic. They taste okay. They're good. I would say they taste good. I would not say it's like the best thing I've ever tasted, but it's good enough to feel like a snack. And I keep these in my bag with my mint tea bags. And then, you know, when I'm on the go, I always have a little snack. Another snack that I really like that I don't have with me is the pure protein bars. I tend to have those with coffee in the morning. I think they're around 200 calories, 20 grams of protein, if I'm not mistaken. Get those at Walmart as well, sometimes on Amazon. I like the lemon flavor. They also have like a chocolate flavor. That's good. But I dice them up. I take a sharp knife and I dice them into tiny little pieces. And I keep them next to my coffee in the morning because otherwise I just feel like I eat protein bars so fast and I want to just kind of take my time with it. So I dice them up into little pieces and I'll put them in like a little pretty bowl. They do have an amazing pumpkin spice protein shake, and I will order those in the shake form. I put them in my coffee in the morning instead of a heavy creamer. It also gets my protein in the morning. It helps keep me full. And I do love a pumpkin spice latte just like everybody else, but they do cost a lot of money and they have a lot of sugar in them. I can just kind of have a little pumpkin spice love at home. I put the Premier Protein pumpkin spice in my coffee. I get like one of those little frothers that just froths things up and makes it so good and creamy, and it really tastes delicious. So that is what I do 9 times out of 10 over getting pumpkin spice lattes. I also like the Coffee Mate sugar-free pumpkin spice, but that is hard to find. The sugar one I see everywhere. The sugar-free one tends to sell out fast all the time, and that's the one that I like, is the sugar-free. Oh, and last but not least, I said that I was going to mention the other company that gifted me some stuff. These are some of my readers. You guys know I'm always wearing different readers. These were gifted to me by Ryan Simkai iShop. These are fantastic. They run between like $19 and I want to say $40. I think these are probably a $19 pair. I really love them. As you know, I love peepers. Peepers are a little bit more lightweight. And the one thing I love about peepers that I don't see many other companies do with their readers is they have the little bounce, the sides bounce, and then they come back in. These don't have that. However, these really keep their shape. I had bought some really inexpensive Amazon readers and they were great for a while, but they got stretched out. They would always like end up falling down on my eyes, even when I wasn't like trying to do that. These really stay put. These are the black ones. I tend to wear the tortoise ones and the shades of brown, but these are really fantastic. They all come with a case. I will be sure to link these. They let me pick like 10 pairs. So I have blue, I have green, I have like all different shapes, but this is the shape that I like the most. And I like the black ones. I'm wearing black today, but I do like to wear some little funky pattern sometimes just to brighten things up. But readers are a part of my everyday life. So I usually talk about readers when I'm talking about favorite things because I always have readers everywhere. I did have one more fall favorite that I wanted to mention, and that is Lumpy's leash. She's not wearing it right now, but I did film it for you. I want to say it was like $10 or $15 on Amazon. He had the same leash that we had bought like PetSmart when we took him home with us. And it was just nasty and gross, and it was never a pretty color. So I decided I wanted to get one that kind of matched Lumpy. So I got one that was like a little tan and brown. He's had the same collar forever, but I ordered this leash and it's worked really well. I was very nervous to buy a leash for Boston because, you know, for obvious reasons, it's very busy around here. I don't know what I would do if anything ever happened to him. So I wanted to make sure that the leash was secure. And I love this leash that I got. I think it's pretty. It comes in a ton of colors. This one in particular is very fall vibes and also is very lumpy vibes. It kind of matches him. He loves to nap in the afternoon. It's my favorite. I would buy this leash over and over again. In fact, I'm thinking of maybe getting one for the holidays. Oh gosh, I'm just thinking that that might have really messed with my audio. His leash is fantastic and it's such a good price. And I always find that when I go into stores like a Petco, they're always so expensive. I went with Amazon, but I haven't always had luck on Amazon. I think I have 2 or 3 leashes that I bought and never used. They're either too long, or there was one that was so cool and bohemian looking. And I remember it fell off of Lulu, my past dog. Some of you might remember Lulu. It just came undone and I couldn't believe it. And it was like, it almost looked like macrame. I should have known better, but you can't be too safe when it comes to your dog. So I really like this leash for Lumpy. Okay, friends, that is all. Thank you for hanging around with me. I hope you found some inspiration from my fall favorites. I will do my best to leave as many links for you down below. Be sure to hit subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. I plan on doing favorites every season. I'll be back real soon with another video, friends. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I really hope that my microphone worked okay. All right, take care, everybody. Bye. Thanks again to Ultima for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the link in my description and stay hydrated. You'll get all the good stuff and none of the junk.